with the Milwaukee Bucks here for a second. Because obviously, the next legitimate question is, are the Bucks the next NBA dynasty? Are they the NBA's next dynasty, right? And there's no question that this title run for the Milwaukee Bucks has been nothing short of sensational. I've chronicled the path that they have taken to reach this point. The failures, coming up short, getting bounced in the first round, the first 4 playoff series with Giannis and Chris Middleton, losing 4 straight games to the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago, getting bounced in the second round by the Miami Heat in the bubble last year. This team has taken a beating. They've been whipped. They've been shamed. They've been humiliated. And from those struggles and from those heartbreaks, able to persevere, able to break through, finally in 2021. And the scary thing is Giannis is still ascending. And so that's what's incredible and what makes their future so bright is the fact that Giannis is just 26 and he's continuing to get better every single year. And so I want to give them their flowers, their roses, because they deserve it. They are a worthy NBA champion. They absolutely had a tremendous ride and a tremendous season. But the one thing that we know now is that dynasties are so fickle. They are so ephemeral. They do not last a long time. You are lucky, given the age of the NBA right now, given today's NBA, of how much talent there is in the NBA. Player empowerment, player mobility, how frequently teams can trade for guys. One off season is all the difference. We see how short-lived some of these dynasties last. We thought that the Lakers were going to be a dynasty last year when they won the title. And then injuries derailed them this year. And AD and LeBron couldn't stay healthy. And it cost them an NBA title. And all of a sudden, we no longer look at the Lakers as a team that could potentially win back-to-back NBA titles or 3 titles in 4 years. The Cavs with LeBron, when they overcame the Warriors in 7 games, we thought finally Cavaliers are going to be a dynasty. And then what happens that offseason? Kevin Durant signs with the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, as much as we appreciate and acknowledge and adulate them on the dynasty that they've had, if you really think about it, their dynasty lasted 4 years. So you're lucky if a dynasty can last 3 years in today's NBA. The Warriors literally won they reached the finals 4 straight years. They won in 2014, 2015, lost in 15, 16, and then won back-to-back titles in 2016, 2017. And then they made it, actually, so it really should be 5-year run. Then they lost in the NBA Finals in 2018, 2019. So that was 5 years. And we view that as the longest, most recent dynasty that's ever existed. The days of the Spurs dynasty, of winning 5 titles in 20 years, or the Lakers with Kobe and Shaq winning 3 and going to 4 straight, that I just don't think that's the reality anymore. Players are too agitated. They're too impatient. They want to win now. And so when we think about that, this season was such a unique year, because this isn't to suggest the Milwaukee Bucks weren't worthy of winning the NBA title, because boy, were they worthy. They validated their NBA title. Their stars came out and put on all-time great, historically great and legendary performances. As I've said, Giannis, absolutely sensational with his finals performance, especially in Game 6. Chris Middleton delivered clutch shots. Drew Holiday was a great two-way player, maybe struggled the majority of the finals offensively, but defensively, he was a hound, playing hellacious defense, full court defense on Chris Paul and Devin Booker. So they are worthy of being the NBA champions. But with that being said, even with all of that, the reality is injuries did play a factor. And they really determined the outcome of a lot of these series this year in the NBA playoffs. That's the reality. It's inevitable. It's inarguable. And I think that injuries played such a big role, such a more prominent and noticeable role in this year's NBA playoffs than they have in other NBA playoffs. And so when I think about the Milwaukee Bucks, and so if our definition of the Milwaukee Bucks is, hey, are they going to reach the NBA Finals and win another championship or two with this core group? I don't know if they are. They're not even favored to come out of the East next year. The reality is I thought that the Brooklyn Nets, had they not gone injured, probably would have beaten the Milwaukee Bucks this year if it wasn't for injuries. And so when you look at the NBA landscape, the Brooklyn Nets will be back in the Eastern Conference. We don't know what the Lakers and the Clippers are going to look like next year. I thought that both the Lakers and the Clippers this year, had they been healthy, would have probably beaten the Milwaukee Bucks in these finals. We'll never know. But those two teams are going to be back. What is Golden State going to look like next year, getting Klay Thompson back, and what moves they'll make this offseason? The only thing that I will say about the Milwaukee Bucks, so the answer is I don't think they'll be a dynasty. Because the question is, are they going to win one or two more NBA championships with this core group? I don't think that they will. But if the question is, hey, can this team put themselves in position to reach the NBA Finals and reach the Eastern Conference Finals year in and year out? Well, I do see that, because the Milwaukee Bucks, to me, are the one now consistent team that I have the fewest question marks surrounding. They've got the least questions about them. I know now what I'm going to get from the Milwaukee Bucks. I know that this core group will step up in the postseason. But can I predict for sure that they're going to win? I don't know what the Philadelphia 76ers, what if they trade for Dame Lillard? Well, now they've ascended in the rankings. So I think that the Bucks will be in contention to be in the Eastern Conference Finals every year. But if the question is whether they are legitimately going to win an NBA championship and continue to win multiple championships, I can't definitively say that. They have a great shot, but I can't definitively say that. And if I can't definitively say that, then I can't definitively say that they're going to be the next NBA dynasty, because we just don't know how long that's going to be. We just don't know how long that's going to be.